The podcast you are listening to of Holmberg's Morning Sickness is brought to you by my friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Trust me on this one. You've had barbecue before, but you haven't had it this good. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale, ericsfamilybbq.com.
When was the last time you had really good Texas-style barbecue? Eric's Family Barbecue, the way it's supposed to taste. Always delicious, never rushed, and prepared to perfection. Eric's Family Barbecue uses only 100% fresh meat, slowly smoked over mesquite wood until it's juicy and delicious. We all know their brisket is the best, but have you tried their pulled pork ribs, or rib tips? Amazing, and their sides are all house-made. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Make the trip. You won't be sorry. Go to ericsfamilybbq.com for more information.
You thought that was funny.
Holmberg's Morning Sickness.
You were laughing like a hyena when he said it.
98.
What the hell is wrong with you?
KUPD.
Yes, we are in the center of handing you guys cash all the time. Jeremy is out there this morning. I wonder if he's out there right now. You guys can go visit him. He's doing the, the KUP deployment thing. And he's out at 35th Avenue and Happy Valley. Jeremy, if you're available, please. Mercury could be in the way, though. He's got helpers today. He's got girl helpers. But Jeremy's collecting for the troops out there at the Safeway on 35th and Happy Valley. And if you want to check him out, well, then gosh darn it all, head on over there. Do the right thing. Jeremy's, what was he looking for? Foot powder and toothpaste today. Little touch of home. Stuff that they can't get regularly where they're sitting. And we'd love to hear
the
from
travel size.
Jeremy's right there. Jeremy, are you there?
I'm here, sir.
Hello, love. And it's Jeremy's last day in the van, by the way, unless he gets fired from his new job somewhere else and has to come slinking back. But, Jeremy, know this, that if that's the case, we will accept you back with open arms.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I need to have backup options.
Yeah. And then tomorrow you'll host the Guadalupers for the very last time.
Yeah. That's bad.
Yeah, you just realized. Did that just dawn on you when I said that that's it? You're done here. And we don't have a new host.
Oh, you guys are going to get stuck with Toledo hosting.
I know.
I'm so sorry. I need to
something.
reconsider this.
Because Brett can't read. Even worse than Brady, Brett can't read. Paul told me the other day, I wanted to do commercials, and he goes, "Congratulations, now you got two assholes on your show that can't read commercials." And I'm like, because he has to edit all the spots, and I'm like, oh, geez, I'm sorry. Evidently, Brett's a terrible reader, like beyond Brady's issues with stumbling. Brett just can't read, so he can't do it. Now what? Toledo. Ugh. We'll get something else in here. Don't worry about it. It's temporary.
There's always options.
This is worse than trying to find a host for Jeopardy. Brett's too racist. He's like Michael Richards. Brady's like LeVar Burton. He wants the job, but nobody thought it was good enough. And then, of course, you got Toledo, who's too boring for ratings. Oh, my. Maybe Woody. He's available. We'll have Woody come down and host the Squares. I mean, he's supposedly available. We're not allowed to talk about that, but as of Friday, he will be available. Anyway, Jeremy, you've done a wonderful job for us. So gladly, I'm very happy that you're going someplace and making more money and doing better. Good for you.
Appreciate that, sir. Thank you.
But if you get fired, and you probably will, you can come back here.
I mean, the likelihood is very high.
Very high. You can slink back into this building anytime you want. We'll be fine with that.
That's why I'm staying on weekends,
That's
John.
right.
You got to keep that connection alive.
Keep that foot in the door, buddy. What do you got out there right now? What's going on?
We've got a bunch of stuff donated already. Quite a few people came by saying that a lady came by saying her son-in-law just got deployed over there. So like you've been saying, There is troops overseas and they are being sent out as we speak. So come drop some stuff off. We're still early on, so we're not focusing on anything in particular. So come donate. I still have a few tickets left to Seether, Skillet, and Drop Murphy's. All you got to do is make a donation and ask for the tickets, and they are yours.
All right, easy enough. 35th Avenue and Happy Valley Road. He's got a whole bunch of stuff for you. Go by, drop off for them troops that we're helping out, and, of course, say hello, and then goodbye to Jeremy for now, and then visit the girl. Maybe we get one of those girls to host the Squares. You think either of them are qualified?
I don't know if they can read either.
Okay, well, that was sexist and somehow racist. I'm not sure. But exactly. I think it might have been racist. Oh, my God. White's not a race? So you bigot. All right, we're done with you, Jeremy. This is why you can't work here anymore. We'll talk to you later. There you go. Bigoted, sexist Jeremy says women can't read. I disagree. They can read a little. Yesterday, Brady, I had my hip moment, not like cool 60s hip, but my replaced hip moment, old man moment of the day. And I realized that I am now in a very unique group. of people with their hips replaced. And it's not that, it's surprising to find out how many people have had it done. Like thousands and thousands.
A lot of
people.
artificial hips out there.
Tons of them. Young people, old people, motorcycle accident people. Loads of folks have tin in their body or metal at some point. Everybody I talked to is like, I got 37 screws in my arm. I was talking to Eric Bryan from newacunit.com, and he was telling me, we were chatting, and he said, what are you having done? And I told him this was right before the surgery, and he said, I got 37 different pieces of metal in my body right now. Like from what? Just accidents and injuries.
Mostly
and,
like duct work because he's in the AC business.
I don't know. Yeah, he's got a lot of that stuff just jams
a lot of
in
vents.
there. But he busted his arm and they put it back together. He had knees, and I'm like, Jesus. So I'm walking out of the Suns arena yesterday, and again, ego played a part in this. I couldn't keep Betty Sullivan my cane. I called my cane Betty Sullivan because her name's all over it. And again, in 2 places on this cane, Betty Sullivan decided to place her name and address on the cane. Now, Betty Sullivan is would-be grandmother-in-law, I suppose, to me. She used this cane, passed it down to Megan's dad when he had a back surgery, and then he gave it to me for this thing. I only need it for walking around little bits here and there. I'm pretty good without it. But I still like it, especially. But I won't take Betty Sullivan out in public because, A, everybody asks. B, it's horrible to look at. And I just don't.
I almost pulled the trigger the other day at the
on a cane?
Pharmacy. Yeah, I saw it. I'm like, I could see you because I know what's going on.
Or you're going to buy me a cane.
Yeah, I thought about it. It was a leopard print cane.
Oh, that's nice. So, yeah, if I could get a little pimpy with it, I'd do it. I'm not going to need it for more than a day unless I'm climbing a ton of stairs, and I don't do that. But Betty has her name all over this cane, and that made me think, because I've talked to people at, like, physical therapy. I'm like, why do old people put their names on their canes? I was like, because they forget them all the time. And they're like, then they don't need the cane.
That or...
if you forget your cane, you
I know
don't
in
need
those
your
waiting
cane.
rooms, you've got, gaggles of canes over there. They grab the wrong one.
Right, for that. But she's got it on there a couple times, which I think there was a theft issue with canes. Which like, you'd be surprised how many people leave their canes here. And I'm like, well, isn't that progress? If you walk out without your cane,
you're
great.
You don't need it.
You don't need it, really. Oh, I forgot my cane. So anyway, I got Betty Sullivan. I left her at the H&H Ranch yesterday before the Suns game. And I come out, and I see Craig Fooey on sports from ABC 15. And Craig sees me walking towards him. Now, I thought I was fooling everybody. But everybody that saw me was like, hey, what's wrong? I'm like, oh, I'm nothing. Why? Like, you're hobbling. I'm like, I thought I was walking pretty good. I thought I was putting on a show. It wasn't. And Fooey goes, what's going on? And I'm like, I just had my hip replaced, if you can believe it. And he goes, hey, I had both mine done. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to be in this group. I don't want to be in a group of people excited about having that.
You're in the club.
I'm in the club. I'm in the hip club. It's a hip club, they say, Brady. That's what you would say. But I don't want to be in that club. And I'm trying real hard, but I overdid it yesterday. I needed Betty Sullivan a lot. And then I saw some other guy and his wife as we were leaving. How's recovery going? And at that point, it wasn't going well because I needed my cane. I'm like, I'm not doing well right now. Thanks for asking. I've got to go. No time to chatter.
You got a cane I can borrow?
Got to get to cane. Can't walk. But I'm doing good today. I'm done with Betty Sullivan.
That's why you might need to upgrade Betty.
She's gone. I don't need her anymore. I don't need the cane anymore. I'll upgrade it to just, as a fashion statement. But I won't walk with a cane in public. That's all arrogance and ego and all that. I won't do it. I will not do it. I tried. I started to leave the place yesterday with the cane, and I'm like, no. Left it at the H&H Ranch, and I'm like, I'm going to bravely do like what Howard Hughes did. Remember when Howard Hughes had to meet with Juan Tripp of Pan Am?
Yep.
And then he had to meet with Alan Alda from the Senate. And he walked in, he put the cane in the thing, and he couldn't walk, but he faked it, and he could barely move because the plane crashed. That's how I was. I didn't want people to see me as weak. But then hobbled as I left the arena yesterday, I looked weaker than I would have with a cane. So it kind of backfired. But I'm now in the club. Hip guy. Cool.
Hey, Fooey!
And then I couldn't wait to get home and watch TV last night. And I can't imagine baseball. Baseball implemented rules to make it faster. The games are going. Last night's game was 3-1.
Which is good.
Is it 3-1? Last night. Now, most of the time, low-scoring games zip by. Last night's game was 4 hours and 20 minutes long. It started at 5:30, ended at like 9:10. 9:15. Couldn't believe how long this game was. And it's because it's just all sold commercials. Like it's every chance they get, they go to a commercial. It was miserable. And it was a great baseball game. A walk-off home run by Chris Taylor at the end. The Dodgers, who got into this thing with 106 wins and had the whole season teetering on one loss, that they'd be out after this one of the all-time seasons ever, and they came in second because of it. 106 wins. And they walk off and everything else, and I looked at it, I'm like, I've never been more bored in my life watching a game. That was great. A great game that's boring is weird. 1-1. This thing should have been zipping by. And all I could think of is, before they put in all the time constraint things, they're like, we got to speed this game up. How long would that game have been? It would have been 6 hours.
And the night before, was it that long?
Oh, yeah. These American League games last forever. I don't know if it was that long, but it was long. They're all 4 hours. Playoff baseball is 4 hours, and baseball wonders, how come nobody's watching baseball anymore? Because it's 4 hours long even when it's great. The bad games, when they score a lot of runs, 5 hours is easy in a playoff game. If you get a game like today, the Sox are playing. I think they play the Astros today. Those two teams can mash. If they go out and go 8-7, it's just 5.5 hour game. It's brutal. You can't. It's an unwatchable product.
Reviewing plays.
And plus, you got announcers that aren't fun, like the old Scully days are gone. And it would have been great to hear Vince Scully yesterday talking about a 106-win team that might go home based on one single play-in game. Oh, Vin would have had a field day with the stories and everything. I didn't hear one good thing. Nothing. Ron Darling was boring. Yeah, so it's impossible to watch. You got to put bets on it.
You're not going to bring, I think that's been that way for a while, getting new fans.
No, the young people will never watch baseball again. Yeah. It's going to die. If you watch Brockmire the last 2 seasons when they jump ahead 20 years, baseball's dead. It's gone. And the only way they're getting new fans is by having changing the names of teams to more racist stuff. The Colonists is the best thing that they ever, or the Colonials or whatever, where they let Native Americans buy a team and name it whatever they want, and it's just a white guy licking a bloody sword is their logo. It is the funniest. You haven't even heard the half of it yet. Wait till you see the uniform, and then they pop the uniform up, and you're like, oh, my God. The hat. I want it so bad. It's just a white man licking a bloody sword. That's how they get people interested again. But, yeah, it's sad. 3-1. That game should have been 2 hours and 30 minutes long. I don't know what they did to speed it up. Everything they've done in sports to make it better has made it worse. Replay in football, it's not working. Go back to the old way. There's catches. There's not catches. It just causes this confusion. Go back to human error. It's not, and it's not in an interest to make the game right. Oh, we got to get all the calls right. You miss half of them through replay. And then the ones that aren't reviewable are a pain in the ass. I did go to the FanDuel Sportsbook yesterday at the New Suns Arena at the Footprint place. Whew.
Pretty nice.
It's pretty cool.
And can you see the game?
No, it's on the other side.
It's on the other side.
It's on the street side of the arena, so you can come in from the outside. It's open now. It's open all the time.
Yeah.
The FanDuel thing is open all the time. So you can go in.
I was wondering if it went all the way through. Like,
nope.
Sometimes.
It's a big room. It's open at 9 in the morning, closes at 11. On the weekends, it stays open until 2. You can watch sports, and there's 1,000 TVs. It's a cool room, bar, and it's always there. So it's on the street side. It's not on the inside arena side. So you can. The game's on in there, obviously.
Yeah.
But there's kiosks for betting. Oh, the degenerates are going to run rampant in there. Right now, it's for fun people who want to play and gamble and goof. Eventually, that's just going to turn into a bunch of people trying to make rent and have some food. It's not going to be. It's going to end up being like scary.
Got to check it out.
But right now, it's a glorious thing. Hopefully, they can keep the riffraff out. But usually, 2 o'clock if you're gambling at 2 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday or Friday night on sports overseas,
horses are running somewhere.
Soccer, horses, something. You're out of money. I don't think the well-to-do gambler is going to be out throwing money on ponies in Melbourne, Australia at 1
ripping up his last slip on High Lie.
Oh, well, there's another $10,000 out the door on my Brazilian bets. Well, tomorrow's another day, but it's tomorrow. What are you going to do? It's 8:44, but I'm in the hip club right now. Craig Fooey had both of his done, so the Foo. It's 8:45. The word is retrograde, 97936. You can get $1,000. The dinero double down is going right now. Retrograde is today's word. It's one of the first words I heard today to start our glorious day from our beautiful little promo girl who said that Mercury was in it and the day is impossible to enjoy. So we're going to change that. Mercury in retrograde means somebody's getting $1,000 in their pocket that didn't have it earlier, and you can blow it at the FanDuel Sportsbook later on at the Footprint Arena. Easy enough. 97936, that's how you do it. Good luck. It's 98 KUPD.
Arizona's most powerful rock radio station. 98 KUPD.
Metallica right there, and Jeremy's probably just now shaping up and getting out of there, but if you can catch him last second. Or you can help our KUP deployment right there at 98KUPD.com and check out our Amazon wish list. That will out beautifully, and you can help out the troops for the KUP deployment. I love this thing every year because I'm always kind of shocked at, all the donations that come in, all the people that help, but it also brings us great moments like Tang Hai on the Plex, which hopefully, again, the kids are writing their letters now at Toledo's wife's school. Excuse me. And we'll get some good ones because those kids, especially now. I remember last year with a couple of them that they had drawn helicopters and stuff blowing people up. Those were my favorite moments. People are emailing me like crazy, too, about Ralphie May. It's Ralphie. It's a 4th anniversary yesterday, going into today, of the passing of our friend Ralphie, which shocked me. Last night, it kind of dawned on me that was actually real. I did it to where I looked up Wikipedia. It was October 6th. I remember standing in that room right next to this one when I got the call from Joel.
Holding your phone.
And I'm like, oh, my God, Ralphie's gone. Ralphie May died. I wanted to do
tie that in on that day, too, because that's my dad's birthday.
Oh, it's your dad's birthday and Ralphie's death day. No.
And how do I forget that?
It's easy.
Yeah.
Just make one the other. My grandma died on my birthday. And I always thought my dad would have a thing about that. He doesn't. I don't even think he remembers. Like July 26th, I think it was 91. She died, and it was my birthday. My dad was I remember just like, hey man, I'm sorry, this is awful. He's like, oh, it's all right. This is your birthday. Yeah, this is weird. This is gonna be tough to have cake tonight. I think that was 19th birthday, and I remember feeling like we shouldn't do it, and we did anyway. We still had birthday stuff. And again, being a prick 19-year-old, I just wanted to leave. What an asshole. My grandma died, but we all kind of knew.
I had to get out of the car on the way to my grandfather's funeral.
Because you were...
I must have had like a little panic attack or something. I was like, I can't do it.
And you're...
Because I had a weird thing about how funerals were conducted. Yeah. I think we'd say in a movie where there was a in-casket viewing. Ugh. I didn't want to see a dead person.
And they just set you off on the side of the road?
I went to the arcade.
They dropped you off. Were you in a little suit?
Arcade a little block away. Yep.
How old?
17.
7 or 8.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was. I think I was 12 when my grandpa died, and I wasn't allowed to go to the funeral because I thought I would be freaked out by it. I'd have been all right, but
yeah, I just remember riding in the car and going, "Do I have to go to this thing?"
No kidding.
My mom was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I can't do it. Can't do it."
No kidding.
Started freaking out.
Well, that's awful. Yeah. So anyway, very uplifting topic, but Ralphie's death was.
I was too young for Grandma. I said, sit this one out.
Yeah, so that's what they thought for me with Grandpa. That was fine.
But then Papa Ed died. They asked me to
speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had to talk at a couple funerals. That's no fun. Actually, I had fun at Chuck's, but that's it. They were supposed to Ralphie didn't get a funeral. His wife just threw him in the ground. Like they had a weird thing at the Improv in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And a bunch of comedians went up and did time.
And it was more of a feeling to help promote.
Yeah, it started to become a showcase. And it was very odd. It was there were agents in the crowd. And people were playing for that. It was supposedly very strange. The Smash Brothers told me about that. I forget who else went up and did some stuff, but they're like, it got to where it was just stand-up. They weren't even doing anything about Ralphie. It was like, I was going to go to that, but I didn't go to that. I'm supposed to go to his, she didn't they didn't put a headstone up for him. So the Smash Brothers, I kicked in and threw them some money, and then they went and designed all that. And then they gave me the money back. And I was supposed to go out and visit them on his birthday. We were going to go to Ralphie's. I think it's in Arkansas. I don't remember. But we were going to go, drink beer and sit on a grave. And then I'm like, well, I don't want to do that either. Like, one of these days I'll get over there. I'm not big on visiting graves.
Yeah.
I've done it once to a friend of mine, Kevin. I went out to his. But I'm not big on visiting graves. I can think about you and get the same vibe off of it. I don't need to sit on your dead body. I think that's weird. I know that's me. You can do it if you want. I understand everybody does it different, but that one's got me. Like, I don't go stand and talk to the
I did
rock.
it one time, but I was really young, and I was just going with my grandfather. We drove down to Cincinnati because that's where the family.
Right. Just go stand down there.
In his side of the family there. Yeah.
And just go stand there. It's weird when you realize, oh, there's a corpse under me.
Yep.
And a bunch of them. But anyway, and I'm also getting a lot of people volunteering to host the squares. Yeah, a lot of people. Jimmy Wisman, actually, best one so far. Now that Jeremy's not going to do it, we got a guy named Jordan. A couple listeners have volunteered, and I'm like, I can't trust Jay Gutentag. Might be interesting to have her pop in and do a squares, although the rhythm will be off because I'm going to hear her talk, and I'm going to go right into that. We've done this before. We've resurrected people's morning shows here on our show. Mo, who was fired months ago for trying to be a morning show at KDKB and then put on in the middays, said, I'll do it. It's the only way I'll ever get a morning show again. Maybe we let Mo do it.
Yeah.
Are we ready for a girl host? That's what Jeopardy did. Should we girl host it?
Not sure.
I'm not sure either. I mean, she's a lesbian now. So maybe it's different because we all have the same objectives, which is to grab some puss.
Going after the same thing?
We all after the puss. If it's the whole room still has that main objective, I guess it's all right. Yeah, Mo's probably the front runner. She wants to do that. Jimmy Wisman, comedian, very funny. He volunteered it.
Is he on the road a lot or no?
That's the other thing. I don't know when Jimmy can make it on every Friday or not. Got to have consistency. Mo's here all the time.
In the building?
Mo's not bad. She might have to audition because the last thing we want is Toledo doing it. And he's got some computer work he's got to do during that squares thing that helps me out. That'll screw up his timing.
And you have no faith in Brett?
None. Can't read. Dumb as a doornail when it comes to reading. Can't read.
4 letters in the alphabet.
Yeah, exactly. Ever hear him read? It's a mess. And then you just hear, all right. I've seen the words. I'm like, oh, God, he's going nuts. Yeah, Brett's more fun to have as a laugh track and goof around, give me notes every once in a while, a couple jokes written in, throw them out. But maybe Mo is the one. And we bring her over, and then we get some, she gets her own free pop for being back in the mornings. Your favorite show is Back in the Morning on a different station because they tried to play that off when they hired Woody to take her place. And they said, your favorite morning show is now on at 10. And I'm like, well, then it's not a morning show. And you're probably pissing off a lot of people that liked it where it was. Hey, we're doing a bad job here. Here's Woody. But now Woody's out. God knows what they're going to do. So whoever's running that thing's just tanking it. It's almost like a basketball team that wants the first-round pick. Everything they do is wrong. It's almost like on purpose at this point. But we're not allowed to talk about that station tanking quite yet. Maybe they should tank, get a first-round pick. Anyway, so Mo's a good one. What do we think?
Yeah.
Toledo?
Yeah, I'm in.
Mo's not bad.
Nope.
No, she's not hired yet. She'd have to go through it.
Give her a
once.
swing.
She might be too giddy.
One way to find out.
Beerus the Destroyer says he'll do it. Maybe Scott Haynes, the funniest listener in all of the Valley. I don't know. I don't want to trust an outsider. Then they're going to start wanting money, and then it gets weird, and we're just
caught in traffic.
Yeah, one of those deals. Yeah, Mo might be the one. Interesting. Anyway, we'll try it. But the Guadalupe Squirrels will be back in that. I did get Brett to thumb out some words and fire over a text to me, so we do have his football picks as the FanDuel picks go. I'm shooting for the Stars today. Now, if mine...
I thought you said
no, one more time. If mine hits, we'll start the whole charity contest over, and we'll just split my hit 4 charity ways, because there's no way we're covering it as a match. Because mine's a knockout. But it's going to be really hard to hit. We'll find out. But the FanDuel picks are coming up in just seconds. It's 98 KUPD.
Arizona's most powerful rock radio station. 98 KUPD.
You've been listening to Morning Sickness Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Eric'sFamilyBBQ.com.